David Robinson. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
South by. How's it going?
The weather's perfect. My sister said this is the weather that people think you get when you move here. So, she's like a little bit conflicted.
It sucks you in, right? Because right now, winter in Austin is fantastic, but summer in Austin is, if you like 100 degrees, it's all good.
I met a gentleman that relocated from New York. He's from South Africa. I go, why'd you pick here? South Africa. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I go, what about June and July? He's like, we can't have everything.
Yeah. Right. Yes. So trade-offs. I grew up in Detroit, so I would trade the winter for a hot summer for sure. But I love Detroit, love Michigan and the Midwest. But yes, it's nice. So this is beautiful. It's 60s and sunny. Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
You had some last night, I think you said.
And my fill at Franklin's.
Couldn't do it.
High regard for Texas barbecue, but I'm good. Good for
2 days in a row.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
So tell us a little bit about Academy.
So Academy Bank is a privately held company, Dickinson Financial Corporation. We have two bank brands, Academy Bank and Armed Forces Bank. And Armed Forces Bank caters to the military, 15 installations across the U.S. And Academy Bank is a traditional commercial retail, primarily in Kansas City, Denver, and Phoenix. So we have aspirations to grow to $6 billion across different segments, and fintech will be one of those.
Awesome. And did you grow up in Kansas? Is that where you are, Kansas?
I'm based in Kansas City. I'm an Army brat, so I always answer this way. I didn't grow up in Kansas City, but I've been there for a long time.
Okay.
And moved around 8 or 9 times growing up, and then settled in the Kansas City area.
Mahomes?
Team Mahomes.
Yes. Okay, so you're a Chiefs fan.
Chiefs fan. Yep.
So he went to Texas Tech, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, Lubbock. Awesome. Little bit of just your background. Like, how did you get started in fintech?
Well, I started in banking, sort of institutional operations, money movement banking. So I started with a company called State Street out of college. They were headquartered in Boston. My family, my dad was born in Boston, so I always had an affinity for that city. It's like, oh, I'll work for that company based in Boston. I'll get to work there. After a few years starting there, I did work there, got married to a Kansas City, and we relocated to Boston, loved it. Moved there from like 04 to 08 in the highlight of parades, all the championships. Was at State Street for a good while. We had our daughter, and our family was in KC, so we moved back to Kansas City to just to have a good tight-knit family relationship.
Nice.
Kid. I was an Army brat, grew up. Christmas and Thanksgiving were 4 people, so I didn't want that for my kids.
Yeah, so you grew up moving around a lot. So Kansas City has been home for a long time.
Yeah.
Relative to your rest of your life.
So my mom's family is in Killeen, so not too far from here. So we came to Texas all the time.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And you have how many kids?
3 kids, a sophomore, an 8th grader, and a 6th grader, girl, boy, girl.
Girl, boy, girl.
So,
okay, so you're busy. Oh, your wife's busy right now.
Yeah. So after State Street, I was in Kansas City working for a non-Kansas City company. And at some point, your career sort of get limited in terms of your upside. And this is sort of pre-COVID. Like now everybody works from everywhere and no big deal, right? But not necessarily there. So I took an opportunity with UMB, so sort of blue blood Casey institution. Had a good run there. Got more into payments, working for broker dealers, high volume payments, interesting use cases, cash management sweep. We started to grow a fintech practice. Probably weren't able to achieve what we wanted to in some of the opportunities we had just in other priorities at the organization. So I had to back away from some interesting ones. And Academy Bank was wanting to be active, and we got connected, and I shifted over December of 22.
Oh, so recently.
Yeah, 15 months or so.
And Fintech Partnerships, what types of things are you doing for Academy?
So my main job is really, standing up or extending our banking infrastructure. So standing up a banking as a service platform, identifying deposit sources or fee revenue sources that are fintech brands that we could power them. They need to fit our risk culture. They need to be, we need to understand the business and believe in their business, and then we'll power them with our banking infrastructure. In addition to that, we don't have a big product organization, so I oftentimes find myself the tip of the spear in a new capability that will benefit our associates or benefit our customers. And I'll bring those back and vet those with our team and try to be quick no or an interesting, maybe and yes, and just sort of facilitate those conversations so they don't die in the vine. And we've established some good relationships that way.
So how are you determining those needs or those wants?
I'm talking to our business team. So we have sort of commercial leaders, we have retail leaders, we have military, and we have traditional. And, we have made, prior to my arrival, we made great strides in a digital transformation. And we want to continue that. Of that, we're probably our associates with sort of transformation. And the most recent benefits of that were our customers and their ability to self-serve and, do the things that modern banking is meant to do.
And what kind of things stand out to you when you think about the Academy and the work that you're doing on the technical side to make life better for your customers? Like, are there any particular things that you guys are doing?
Well, we just want to be without borders and sort of normalize the class of citizen that engages with us. I mean, previously, if you were in a certain market or city and you wanted to open up a CD account or money market account, just because of your zip code, we would have blockers on that and make that experience incredibly difficult, even though there was a great business case to make you a new customer. And folks move all around. And if they have a relationship with Academy Bank, what's to say they can't have that just because of the zip code that they're in and some sort of rudimentary fraud protection. So we're trying to sort of normalize that and make available anybody that wants to bank with us wherever they are.
Yeah. And so what are some of the challenges that you think about where you guys are trying to solve for some of those problems? What are some of the challenges you guys are facing?
Well, I think just some of it's just name recognition in new markets. I mean, we're primarily Kansas City. We have good business in Denver and a growing business in Phoenix, and just continue to broaden horizons there. And on the military side of things, Armed Forces Bank, there are some large military installations where we don't have a presence. We haven't historically had a presence, and we could serve those customers. So we're thinking of going into those areas in a digital.
How are you solving for some of that on the awareness? It sounds like awareness and people learning about Academy Bank. How are y'all solving for
I think
that?
we're just being a little bit more outward with and strategic around marketing. We hired a new chief marketing officer last May, and she's really made a mark in our mortgage business and traditional banking business.
Yeah.
And the work I'm doing in fintech, 12 months, the network that we have, Academy has, and I have great sponsorship in our COO, Tom Kentz, and CEO, Paul Holowinski. And when we go to an event outside of our backyard, people have heard of us, and it's a great thing.
Oh, that's positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the network that you have, so you're playing a role in many ways, like a strategic consultant with the business heads to identify those needs. And then you have your business development, your networking to identify those potential opportunities, and you have to bring them in. Like, what's the process? You have to bring them in and vet them somehow, or
So I typically take 90% of the time the first call on let's call it a new product opportunity or a new fintech depositor or fee revenue opportunity. I'll take that first call. Tom and or Paul will take the second call with me. Do we understand the business? Do we like the business? Do we think it has a future? And we also what did they ask about us? Are we just is a bank a commodity? And some of the conversations we had, like, there has not been enough focus on, this is early on, probably more 10 months ago or so. There wasn't a lot of questions around who the bank is in some of those instances, and we didn't like that.
Yeah.
We want you to know us. We're going to have you come to Kansas City. We're going to meet you in person.
Yeah.
If we're going to move forward.
That's one thing I'm hearing that's so interesting is the relationship side of this business. I know it's a little cliche. Relationships are part of business in general and life, but in technology and in banking, I think the outside people wouldn't recognize the fact, by the way, we're standing on top of probably 50 or 100 people downstairs that talking about relationships, that are establishing relationships, have relationships that all do different types of things that complement the industry. But that's a theme I've heard that I think is so interesting. It's just the notion of relationship and really establishing those in a good alignment.
Yeah, it's absolutely personal. And, an opportunity might not be a good fit for us, but if there's positive in the use case, I will call a friend of mine at another bank or forward it along, and it comes the other way as well.
Yeah.
Meeting somebody that knows somebody that I know, and they've either done business or had a positive interaction, that's meaningful for us in terms of what could come with our relationship.
Yeah. So relationships is very important. Alignment, chemistry,
for sure.
Okay.
And when I say no with detail. I don't just go. I don't want to ghost people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say no with no context. And I will, have a follow-up call on why our team didn't feel we wanted to move forward with X, Y, or Z. And they appreciate that. They don't mind hearing the truth, and we try to give it to them.
That's good. So Academy Bank is really about establishing good relationships and managing those. What's one thing you'd wish more people knew about Academy Bank?
I think the family aspect of it gets lost, and maybe it's just because banking is transactional. And we've done, if you come to our offices, we just moved offices in November. They're very nice, of the times, as you say. But when you walk in on the main floor, there's a picture of Gary and Ann Dickinson in the lobby. So you see it up front and center. And I think that's a good thing. I think mainly serving small businesses. It's too wide of a vertical, and that has caused it not to be able to find good footing in terms of how banks or fintech companies can support them. So we'd love to be able to find the right fintech partner to better serve the small business customers that bank with us today, or small business customers across the U.S. that we can help that fintech brand power.
How do you like? Can you describe maybe some examples when you think of better serving them, their particular areas or service offerings or experiences, maybe?
Yeah, maybe just opening up access for whatever the use case is. It might be a certain region of the country. It might be a certain vertical within small business, and this is somebody's blood, sweat, and tears. It could be a 5-person shop, could be a family shop. Could be a 50-person company, and maybe their experience with banking hasn't been good. Yeah, they've been turned down around every corner. But here comes a fintech company that can help better serve them, powered by Academy, and that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, I love that. For someone that might want to enter this space, given all your experience in it, what advice might you give to them?
We were talking last night. Intestinal fortitude was the theme of fintech meetups. I guess that.
I love it. Yeah.
Just be aligned with your leadership. Be committed to it, and constantly assess your infrastructure. How are you ready for this? What improvements can be made to make you more ready for this? And don't shy away from the bad news. Share all the news and get oriented on what's happening in the market and how you can be better.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's good. Last question. Trust in society, I don't think has ever been lower in like my lifetime. And then trust in the financial systems, I think, is low as well. I don't think it's as high as we'd like it to be. In your view, and thinking about whether it's Academy or it's the industry itself, like, what are your thoughts on how we can better grow trust and restore faith in the financial system?
I just go back to, it's a personal relationship to those who you do business with, and leaning into that, and asking the hard questions or sharing the bad news early and not avoiding it allows for a relationship to really have strong footing. You get stronger in relationships by working through the challenges, as opposed to everything being perfect and hunky-dory.
Yeah.
I started out in banking, and I shifted into like a consultant role in best practices. And, there's always this, people on the front line of servicing the customers, and these people that are consultants and, just go to meetings. And there was some comment around the folks on the front line not being able to, it's not smooth and perfect all the time. And somebody made the comment to me, it's like, if it was smooth and perfect all the time, we wouldn't have jobs.
Right,
so just being able to work through that with your customer, with your colleague, identify the issue, work through the issue, and trust each other. Yeah,
that's great. I lied. I'm going to ask you one more question. What do you love about what you do?
I just meet new people all the time. I love it. As I said, I grew up an Army brat, moved places all the time. And I remember I probably cried every move saying, I hate it here, but so establishing relationships that I've established at UMB or at State Street and still have them today. And I'm establishing them with Academy Bank, and I see them, twice a year, 5 times a year. They come to KC. And when I'm in a city or market, reconnecting with them, and it doesn't need to be because we do business together.
What's your experience been here to thinking about relationships? Because I've met a ton of people. It's been fun. Yeah. Some are renewed relationships, or folks I see a couple times a year. Others are brand new, like you and I today. What's your experience been at the FinTech House in South by?
Well, I've been wanting to come here for 3 years since I've even heard about it. And I'm glad I came. Weather is helping, and I just want to use it as another launching pad for a relationship, and it could be one thing. It could be many coming out of this week. So
yeah, have you? My experience has been, no matter who I've met, there's like a bond. I don't know how they pair us all together. If it's just serendipitous, I don't know, but it's really cool. I've certainly enjoyed chatting.
Yeah, people want to promote themselves and their organization, but they also want to promote others. So
yeah,
I'm down with that.
David, been awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, David Robinson, Academy Bank.
Cool.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah. See ya. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you'd like to learn more about Customer and the work we're doing building financial and fintech brands and businesses, please visit our website, customer.com. That's CSTMR.com. Or you can find us interacting with clients and sharing insights on LinkedIn. All of these links will be in the show notes.